Welcome back to ThorMotorWerks 2, and on today's video I'm going to show you how to replace your cam position sensor on your Mini R50, 52 or 53. The car that we are replacing the sensor on today is a 2006 Mini Cooper S R53 that uses the revised facelift style engine mount. If you have a pre-facelift car, the cam position sensor is in exactly the same place, but the process to remove the engine mount is slightly different, so you may need to look that up before going any further. Let's get to the car and let me show you what you need to do. And this is our engine bay for today. This engine mount needs to come out of the way to get to this camshaft position sensor that you can see hiding just down the back here. Now unfortunately we can't just take that out because it has a little stem on it and also has a 10mm securing bolt, so we need to remove the engine mount to actually get to it in the first place, which is rather inconvenient. So what we need to do first of all is get the car up in the air, and we need to then get another jack underneath the engine with a block of wood to support it. So let me show you my setup and then we'll get into it. So as you can see, I've got a jack here. The wheel is off just to make it easier for visibility. You do not need to take the wheel off to do this job. My spare jack is down here. I'm going to get this block of wood on top of it, and then I'm going to hold that up right this sump area. So let me get that set up and then I'll cut back in and show you what it looks like. So it's as simple as that. It's just supporting the engine. The under tray is still on. It might be easier to take the under tray off, but I'm quite happy with the way that that's set up. So now we just need to get the engine mount out of the way. So let me show you what we need to do on top of the engine bay. So this is our setup here. Like I say, to get this ground strap off, just pop your finger underneath it, because it is a nut and bolt and it will drop through, and then all I do to make sure I don't lose it is just pop it back into place. Now also what we are going to have to do is remove these vacuum lines. So there's a little square section on here that you can see. You push that in on both sides and then put it down. This one can sit up the back here, this one can just lift off. And there is an electrical connector underneath here, which you can just about see. The tab for this is on the back. So if I zoom in a little bit down here and show you, so you can just about see that little grey section there. You just need to push that to the back and then slide it down, and it should just come out nicely. So here's a close-up of it. You just need to push that back and then slide it down. The reason you need to do that is because this evap valve is held in on one of the bolts for the engine mount. So you will need to make sure that you get that out of the way. Now there are 4 bolts either side of this mount, and they are 16mm. I'll just show you where they are so you can have a look. There are 2 there, one that holds the bracket in for this and another one just down the back, and then there are 2 down here as well. Now when you do these, the engine will move. Not a lot, but it will start to move, and you just need to ensure that it's good balanced, because you do need to get the mount back into place. You don't need to use an impact gun. I do because it's just quicker and easier, and I have one. If you don't have one, you can do this with just hand tools. This other one that's down here is a little bit hidden away. You see it drop down a little bit then. Now it will feel, if it's the first time you've done it, a little bit unnatural, maybe a little bit scary, but you do have 2 other engine mounts as well. One on the gearbox over here and one down the back. This is an 18 on top, and this is just a nut. And then this will just lift out like so, so keep that safe. Gives you a bit more visibility now of our crank position sensor. It's not the best angle, but it is quite tight. We need to remove this electrical connector here. So to do that, we are going to need to release this little red tab. Now there are two ways to do this. Sometimes you can just push very gently on the back like so, slide that up, and then it should just release. If you are struggling, you can do it from the other side and push that red tab up. Now that that electrical connector is out of the way, it gives us a bit more visibility on our crank position sensor. So let me show you what it looks like and where the retaining bolt is. Then we'll get the 10mm socket and get it out and show you a bit more close up what it looks like. So as you can see, space is quite tight down here, but this is what we need to be removing. And there at the bottom, you can just see is our 10mm bolt. Now with the engine mount in place, you can't get to that at all, which is why we obviously need to remove it. So to do this, it's a 10mm. You just need to get that out. It's the single bolt, and then that will just pull very gently out of the cylinder head. It's a 10mm bolt. Make sure you don't lose it. It's tight for space down here, but it is doable with a 1/4 inch ratchet and a shallow 10mm socket. A deep one will not fit. Once it's loosened off a little bit, you should be able to finish the rest of it by hand. It's not particularly tight in there. The bolt is relatively small, so don't lose it. And then what you can do is just wiggle this side to side and gently pull back, and there we have it. This is our sensor. You can see there's some gunk on there. It's a bit strange the fault is showing on this particular car, but it has been in there for quite a while, and all that gunk on there is definitely not going to help it. So let's get a new one in and let's see how it goes. Right, this is our new one. So it is second hand, but you can see it's not as bronzy brown and gunked up as the other one was. There is no torque setting for these, it just needs to be nipped up. That will do. Let's get our electrical connector back on. Feels good. Right, and then what we need to do is get our engine mount back into place. And this is where it can be a little bit of a juggle. So the way that I do this is just roughly get it back into place, get it back onto your top engine mount first of all, slide it in, rest it in the right place, and if you get your bolts, ideally you want the back ones to go in first. It's not the end of the world if they don't, but don't forget this front one, you have the bracket on. So see if I can see the holes for that. Let's just get that roughly into place. I'm going to go down to the lowest setting. There we go. Once you've got one in, the others should go in fairly easily. He says. Right, that's two. These will need torquing up at the end. If you don't have a torque wrench, just do them tight. Put that one back in. Make sure you don't trap your wire. Make sure I put our bracket back into place as well, so that will just rest in like so. Get our last one in here. Right. And then we can get this one roughly into place as well. Right, now what we're going to do is just grab our torque wrench, get the torque settings, quickly do them up before we do the rest of the car. So let me quickly grab that and I'll tell you what we've got to do next. Right. It says in the Bentley guide that the manger mount to the cylinder head is 100 Newton meters. Once you put the camshaft position sensor in and everything's back together, you can just quickly start the car before you put the wheel on to make sure that the car starts okay. Good job. Hopefully you found that useful. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and go and check out the main channel for more Mini related projects. If there's anything you want to see a how-to on that's not currently on the second channel, leave a comment down below and I'll pick it up when I go through replying to all of them. Thanks for watching.